We at USM are so excited that in 2024, we mark the 35th anniversary of the university. While many may have heard of USM, there are still too many who are unaware of the amazing contribution that USM has made to this country and the wider region. Among the many activities we are contemplating, and that in effect has come from the conversations we've had with stakeholders, students, staff, faculty, alumni, and we expect that that list of activities will evolve over time. But thus far, we are excited to announce that among the things that the population can look forward to are monthly lectures. So there will be a lecture series throughout the calendar year. In keeping with the spirit of volunteerism, we will undertake a community project of significance to our community and our country. We will, of course, allow for our students to showcase the work they have done, not only in the recent past, but more particularly to showcase the excellent careers that persons who would have walked through USM can now boast of. And many of our alumni say, I started here at USM. And that means a lot to us. We often miss the fact that USM is small, very young, only 35 years old, and yet it has made such a significant contribution to our community, even with the very limited resources. So this year will be a call to action in a very significant way to, one, continue to partner with USM. And in that regard, let me thank the many stakeholders who have stood by our side over the past 35 years. Since I started in October of last year, I've had the good fortune to engage with many of these stakeholders, and they have reaffirmed their commitment to walking along with USM. And this being a significant milestone tells me that there are many who are waiting to re-endorse, to re-energize, resuscitate, increase, enhance, or strengthen their partnership with USM. To potential students, I say, USM is ours. It is our homegrown university. It is a university that is steeped in the spirit of St. Martin. It is friendly, easygoing, yet focused, committed, with a very strong sense of community. We recognize the world is changing, and over the next few months, you will hear of the many programs, new programs, that will be coming on stream. The intention is to not only respond to the needs of our society today, but also to engage in some kind of academic and professional forecasting. And by that I mean anticipate the professions that will emerge over the next couple of years. So it is very important to us as we engage with our stakeholders, friends, students at the various levels of our society, that we're able to ascertain in our engagements with them what it is that our community would like to see USM do better or do differently. And I invite those of you who have yet to exchange ideas with us to maximize upon the emerging or forthcoming opportunities to participate in our various workshops, focus group sessions, lecture series, just participate. We want to hear from you. We can only serve you better if we know what you want. I know that USM finds itself in a wider community of academic institutions, and naturally there is competition. What is the value proposition of USM? What does USM do differently? And I always remember the stories I heard in my first 3 weeks on island. Whether these people were real estate agents, bankers, customer service officers, whether they were in the hospitality industry, for them it was that personal interest in their development. We pride ourselves on having a personal stake in and very tangibly walking with our students, ushering them through a pathway to their professionally desired ambition. We walk with you, we talk with you, we encourage you, and I know that the economic challenges are real. We also work with our students in that regard. We've got payment plans. We can encourage students to consider taking a set number of courses at a time so that while they maintain the momentum along the academic journey, that they can also very comfortably meet the various payment obligations. In this year's calendar of events, one of the things that I'm most excited about is a career and job fair. And usually we call it college career job fair, and it's going to be all of these things. And on this occasion, this being the 35th anniversary of our university, the intention is to invite other academic institutions with which we have very good relations. And the intention is to replicate the ecosystem of one's professional life on campus. So a student, a potential student, will walk in and engage with a career coach, for example, express their intention, let's say, to become an entrepreneur in digital media, and ask the questions: what courses are available? Is there a career path through USM that one can be completed within the USM framework, or that can be continued with an institution that USM has a relationship with? And so we expect to invite our partners with which we have very active MOUs or articulation agreements that allow our students to have a seamless transition from USM to another institution. That international experience, we think, is invaluable. The expectation always is that they come back home because we do not want to exacerbate an already very concerning issue of brain drain. The other thing is that we expect to invite potential employers from both the private and public sector. So potential students and existing students, current students, have a sense of the various jobs available to them given the subject areas they are currently pursuing or may be interested in. And of course, our benevolent stakeholders and partners. We are where we are because people have been generous towards USM. So we will be showcasing them as well. One of the things that is very, very alive in the St. Martin community is that spirit of volunteerism, giving back. And we all know that there are many NGOs, non-governmental organizations, civil society organizations, and these organizations play a very critical role in building community, nation building, building people, building capacity. And we want to showcase these as well. Not many people immediately think of a career in volunteerism. I think volunteerism, they think it's free work. Yes, it's giving back, but there are administrative structures. There are people who have to be paid for undertaking certain tasks. So we want to correct this notion that volunteerism immediately implies free work, no pay. No, we need to correct that notion. And finally, one of the ambitions that we have as well is to indicate the value of pursuing a technical and vocational educational path. We still somehow have a stigma attached to trades or the trades or technical work, or what we mistakenly call non-academic subjects. There is no such thing. I've always advocated that this is a very false dichotomy, this notion of academic and non-academic subjects. We instead prefer to speak of multiple intelligences. And your particular intelligence allows you to be a great tile layer, a great bricklayer, a great painter, artist, dancer, doctor, nurse, teacher. So we are very interested in encouraging students to identify what their particular intelligence is or what their particular intelligences are. Because there are people who are multi-talented. You can be a dancer and a doctor. You can be a bricklayer and be a teacher. You can be a farmer and also be a shopkeeper or an entrepreneur. So we really want to, correct that stigma attached to TVET and hope that through some of the programs we do, such as the training we have at the Coast Guard, we can showcase, hey, we are multifaceted. We do have a very rich array of subjects, a rich menu of academic offerings that can meet your need. And if what you are interested in is not yet on that menu, let's keep talking. Thank you. Thank you so much for that question. We get that question very often. Do we offer online programs? The answer to that is yes and no. Yes, that there are some programs that do require our students to take some courses online because we have students in some of the surrounding islands who can't necessarily travel to campus. The university did very well during COVID to put all of its programs online. But like many academic institutions, that very effective emergency response to COVID-19 has not yet become part of our staple. And that was always our fear in the education sector, that all of this effort had gone into offering programs online, and that when COVID would have dissipated or disappeared, that we would have reverted to some form of normalcy. I advocate that online learning or hybrid learning should not be an emergency response. It should be an option for those who are unable to be on a campus physically. So we are looking at ways in which we can expand our online offerings so that students who for one reason or the other cannot be on campus physically to benefit from face-to-face teaching, they do have the option of online learning. And in that regard, we acknowledge, and we learned that around the world during COVID-19, that many teachers themselves, many educators themselves were not adequately equipped to deliver online learning or to deliver their courses via various learning platforms. But thank goodness, many have been able to bridge that capacity gap, and more educators are comfortable using the various educational technologies or learning platforms to disseminate information or to impart knowledge. In that regard, therefore, the expectation is over time that will become a norm and not the exception or an emergency response.